Peace be with you. I'm making this video to talk about perception because it is probably one of the most important things to understand as a human being. I'm going to talk about why it's important, how it can be manipulated, and the consequences and the dangers of manipulation once it's happening. Perception is how we view reality, how we view the world, and therefore it governs how we interact with it. You can have one person view an event in one way as a good thing, and another person view it as a completely devastating and an evil thing. Therefore, the event itself is far, far, far less important than the person that's looking at it, how the person looking at it perceives it. And that is why perception is everything. And people in power, whoever holds power, understands this. This is the politicians understand this, marketing companies understand this, the entertainment industry understands this, and teachers understand this. The perception can be manipulated. The younger we are, the easier it is to manipulate our perception. Every adult, I think, eventually understands, and there's a common saying, if I only knew then what I know now, my life would have been much easier. As young people, we are gullible, so the younger we are, the easier it is to manipulate our perception of the world. And that is why the danger of invasion of our schools by a particular ideology is clear and present, and every parent should understand how important and dangerous this is, because if you lose one generation, it is almost impossible to bring the next generation back. But schools aren't the only way that perception is manipulated. Perception is manipulated through entertainment industry, like I said, marketing, government propaganda, schools, and even now in the age of social media through algorithms. You can't know what you don't hear, and you can't see or see. So as important is what is being told to you is what isn't being told. That's even probably much more important. But I'll get to that. Let's talk about first the entertainment industry, and this is how perception is being manipulated. If you consider the music of our days, you will see what's being glorified in it, right? Fornication, homosexuality, sexual deviancy, women are objectified, even murder and violence, all of that, right? Nobody bats an eye on it anymore. But consider if somebody made a song about pedophilia, glorifying having sex with 4-year-olds, right? All of us would have this visceral reaction to it, how disgusting this is, and this person would not only be not allowed to do that, but they would be, not to mention, not only would they not make money off of it, they would not be allowed to do that at all, because we perceive this as wrong. Now, there are certain currents in our society that seek to lessen our revulsion to this idea by changing how things are called. So instead of pedophilia, they want to call them minor attracted persons and things of that nature. That is just the attempts of skewing our perception. Same thing, you can use language to skew perception. Like, for example, instead of saying killing of babies or unborn babies, you use the word abortion, and that skews people's perception of what's actually happening. So language can be used like that, and language is a major component of entertainment industry, or actually anything. Therefore, that is how we are manipulated. If people 200 years ago would hear our music today, they would be absolutely horrified. They would not be accepting of it at all, because their perception of reality was completely different than our own. And again, this really solidifies why perception is important. When we're talking about news media and social media algorithms, again, what you don't hear is far more important than what you do hear. So they skew your perception, whether it's world events, wars, or pandemics, or whatever. What they are not telling you is as important as what you are hearing, right? So not only do they tell you what they want you to think, but they prevent anyone from questioning that from being heard. Yeah, we have technically freedom of speech in this country, unless you are relevant, unless you have a platform where millions of people can hear you. You can say whatever you want. But if people are actually listening to you, then you won't be able to say whatever you want. You will be censored, and they even censored a sitting U.S. president at one point. So the algorithms and censorship are also a weapon in molding perception of reality. There's an old saying that says those who tell stories control society, and this has been attributed to Plato, but I'm not sure that if he said that. Either way, it's true. Those who tell stories do control societies. So the algorithms are part of telling the stories now, and so is news media, right? You can have news media, you can have a bomb drop somewhere, right? And if they want you to have a revulsion to that, they will say these evil people purposefully targeted this school, and they will show you the names of the kids, the victims, the families crying, and so on. But if they don't want you to have a revulsion to it, they will say the good guys accidentally dropped a bomb because the bad guys were hiding in that area, and unfortunately there was collateral damage. And that is the end of it. There is no families crying. There is no dead children shown on the news. So not only do you not have that revulsion to it, but you are actually approving of killing of the bad guys. Like I said, the event that happens is far, far less important than how you perceive it, and how you perceive it can easily be manipulated. And I already told you that the younger you are, the easier it is to manipulate your perception. So when it comes to schools, it is of extreme importance that parents control what their kids are taught in schools. And there are forces in this country now that are trying to control what our kids learn, and instill particular ideologies with them, and skew their perception of reality to think what we all think is disgusting, to think that that is normal. And when you send your kids to school, what you are saying, essentially saying, is these adults that are in these schools, I want you to trust them because I am sending you here to learn. That's what you're indirectly telling your kids. So when they hear this information from these adults, and that is reinforced through their peers, they will of course believe it, and they will want to believe it. There is in psychology, there's this theory of social contagion, and it's real. You can see it throughout the world. And you can even just think about it. Look, think back to your youth. When you were young, what did you want more than anything? Is to have friends. That's what you wanted. And that's what every kid wants. And that is how social contagions work. When you introduce ideologies into very young kids who are extremely gullible, then when you skew their perception of the world enough, and you reinforce it through their peer group, then they have almost stand no chance. This is the danger of allowing young kids to be indoctrinated into ideologies, whatever ideologies, right? If you're going to, all of us get indoctrinated, but I think indoctrinating them into honesty and humility and being kind to each other and hard work and healthy lifestyles is what's necessary. When you are trying to teach sex to 5, 6 year olds, that is a big problem, because you are indoctrinating them and you are creating a perception in them that will govern their lives probably till they're in their 30s or 40s. It's very, very important for us to understand the clear and present danger of people who seek to manipulate perception of young children. And you as a parent, I think that is your most important battleground right now. The entertainment industry has been essentially lost. I think people have tried to control it in the past and they have lost. But I think for that part, instead of trying to control the entertainers, controlling the distributor and boycotting the distributors and making them very, very uncomfortable to live would be the right approach. As far as schools, that battleground is that battle is raging right now. And if you are a parent and you are not engaged significantly, then you are just sitting on the sidelines and watching the destruction of your children. Once their perception is formed, I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think you can do. How they perceive the world is how they're going to react to it. There's a lot more to say about this, but it's almost a 10-minute video. Understand that perception is how you live. Understand that it's probably that whatever the things that you think probably are not all your own ideas. And understand that there is a clear and present danger. There are people out here to seek to manipulate your children. Peace be with you.